because I think Ted Kaczynski had a comic's brain. Like, I think he had a brain where it saw through the bullshit. Yeah, actually, I can't, I shouldn't say Ted Kaczynski, the guy that arrested him. Yeah. The guy that ended up taking him down, he had a comic's brain. Ted Kaczynski said to him, I'm paraphrasing this. If you saw this this movie, you're going to go, it's not exactly what he said, but they're doing quid pro quo with the guys debriefing him, and they're trying to get him to admit he was guilty because they don't really have a case on him. Sure. And so at one point, Ted goes, you're wanting me to admit, but I need to ask you some questions. And the guy goes, okay. And Ted goes, when did you realize I was right? And the guy freezes and he goes, I was driving in the middle of Idaho in a snowstorm and I came to a crossroads where there was a red light. It was 2 a.m. and I sat at the red light for 10 minutes and it wasn't changing. And I thought, this is what's wrong with the world. Technology, like there's no one there. Yeah. But I'm still beholden to the rules. Listen to the rules. And I went, those kind of observations, like Bill, like, dude, that's why I say I think Bill Burr would like Ted Kaczynski a lot. I mean, dude, Burr is I think he's the pinnacle of, I would bring him in. I think in another life, he is the greatest murder detective of all time. Yeah, because he can challenge everything in such a smart way. That's why he's one of the greatest comedians of all, because he can just come in and challenge it away, dude. I remember going to watch him at Caroline's when he was still doing Caroline's, and like me and Giannis and Nate would go in the back and you just watch a bit and you'll be like, oh my God, like a premise where you're like, I don't necessarily, how is he going to pull this? Oh my God, he pulled it off. And this is the greatest joke. Why the detective? And he'd be like, what's good? What's that? What's that fucking handkerchief? Why was that there? And the woman's like, he would get a lot of yelling confessions. I fucking did it. I did it. You know what? Yeah. And he's like, I know you did. I fucking know you did. And he's like, I fucking did it. Is that what you want, detective? And he had birds. He's yelling back. Yeah, why don't you turn yourself in? Would get a lot of yelling. I might have to bring that up to the. Yeah, dude, he would get people to yell back at him. Where they're like, because they deserved it. And he's like, yeah, see, there it is. There it is. He would have got Bundy. He would have got Ted Bundy. You would have had Ted Bundy do what Ted Bundy did in that courtroom in Orlando where he lost it. He would have got him in Colorado. He'd been like, why'd you escape? Why'd you run? He's like, all right, don't you think I would? No, don't charm me. I'm not a woman. And he's like, yeah, well, I murdered those bitches. You can't sneak in the back door and climb up the back stairs. It wasn't the back stairs. It was the front stairs. I went in like a man. I'll kill him with my own hands. And he's like, I fucking got you, just bird breaking. If you could send Bird, I would 100% watch all of that. I would love to see other comics solving mysteries. I would be first 48. I'm Columbo. Yeah, one last thing. Yeah, you know what? I got one more question. I'll tell you exactly who I am. Have a sip of water, dude. What's going on? Long day, huh? The guy's like, yeah. I'm like, sometimes the world just makes you angry. He's like, yeah, I just that's how I get over it. They'd be like, man, sometimes you just want to do something. I'm like, tell me, brother, what did you do? I killed her, man. I would have a lot more heartfelt terror confessions. Yeah, I'd have a lot of guys go, and I go, hey, it's okay. I go, I do with that a lot. People in the other comps would go, we got them, Marty, we got that on Mike. Okay, come on. Hey, bud, you're going to go away for a long time. It's better you admit it, though. Get that off your chest. Get this off. You're going to feel better. Sleep good tonight, Nate. And I think you would come in and you'd just be like, one last thing. You said you were in Pensacola last week. And guy said, am I crazy? But when you say Pensacola, did you mean Delray Beach? And the guy's like, yeah, Delray Beach. Because if you're in Delray Beach, then the sun there doesn't set until, yeah, dude. Wolf would beat people like Batman beats Joker in Dark Knight. Michelle would go, and there you go, just slam his head. What's your fucking problem? And he's like, oh, fuck. Someone get me out of this room with this lady. Michelle would definitely lock the door and go, I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me. I can tell you everything. My initial thought was Jerry was crazy when you put him in the JFK here. Wow, he really looks like JFK. It was amazing. Are you making any progress? Show him. Stan. Okay. It's not to scale, but astonishing. What are you guys, 5 years old? Little John draws better than that. And I think there's something wrong with him. Well, I mean, I thought if you were making an entire movie about the history of the Pop-Tart that it was going to be a little lighthearted. I made it perfectly clear in my inaugural address. You did? Great speech. Ask. It's so absurd that they would come to the president or even get the meeting to talk to him about it, especially with the Cuban Missile Crisis and all this stuff, and then try to drag him into Vietnam. all the stuff that he was dealing with that they would get there. I can't believe I'm in a scene with Jerry Seinfeld. This is like the greatest ever. I also love all the period correct wardrobe here. I love the way Jim looks. I love his glasses, and Melissa McCarthy's, the way they got her hair is amazing. May I keep this? Ask not right. Started in 90. I thought he started in 91, but like Dame was more my generation. And who else was up there? Like Jim Letta, Todd Parker, Robbie Prince, all of that. Those are like, you know, all of that crew. And then after that, I came up with like Bobby Dane, Patrice, Gary Goldman came like right after that morning. And no, there's a great, that's a crazy class. Yeah, it was great. And then when we then like, and then Jersey had like Florentine and Norton and all that. And then we all just sort of came into New York at the same time. And yeah, and then all of that shit happened. Yeah, the Patrice doc has little snippets. Thank God somebody was rolling a camera back then. There's a scene where you guys are all hanging on the sidewalk. And then Rich Voss walks up, goes, "What is this?" A couple of middles, zero laugh, a pause. And then everybody laughed at him. That bombed. And I was like, oh, that's such a great Will moment. I don't feel like we have any more brutal. Tito was so stupid. When I look back now, I mean, it's funny, but it was so stupid. We didn't write one script, one sketch. All we did was try to destroy each other's confidence. It was just such like, yeah, it was like a bunch of abused, like rescue dogs all put in the same with like one pork chop there. It was just, yeah, dude, I used to have anxiety going on in the cellar, and I was just thinking of everybody. I would think like 3 insults forever just to kind of get, it's like, okay, if it comes at me, I'm going to get it off me and I'll send it this way. And, you know, but what if Bobby's not there? Bobby's not there. I can't use that, you know, and you couldn't look at the lineup, right? You can. So you had no idea it was going to be down there. And then the words, when you say one and they're like, you prepared that. I thought I was going to be smarter. We missed that. We really missed out on that. Like, I guess when I first got in, yeah, I remember Colin Quinn and Keith like beating up on me when I was like brand new. And I was like, this is amazing. This is, you know, so, but yeah, my first, and somehow it became like toxic. I know this is bad. And then like you go in there now and it's just like, I don't know what it is. Yeah, it's not. I mean, I'm not going to romanticize like it was all because I was comics going to me like, why do you sit down there? Just go down and do your spot. And like, and if I was a healthier person, I would have been like, this isn't working for me. I'm not enjoying this. Like, I'd like to come down here and feel good about myself, not feel worse. Oh my God, the amount of shirts I could never wear again. It was just like, I remember one time, I think it was Keith. Keith was getting so trash for what he had on. He just stood up in the middle of the pounding and just ran out. And I remember you can't fucking, you can do that. I didn't know you could leave. I thought you just sit here until it was over. Damn. I saw Ted do that once. He sat down, everybody made fun of his sweater, and he just got up and sat at the booth and had dinner. I was like, damn, that guy says yes. He's like, this is not working for me, and I'm leaving this. He broke up with us, right? Got out of the relationship. Remember when I auditioned at the Cellar? The second I sat down, I didn't know these guys. And Keith goes, look at him. Look how scared he is. And I was like, holy shit. Everyone's laughing at me. I'm like, this is my audition. This is crazy. And he was right. I was terrified. Keith was really mean, so funny, but he was good at it. I know I'm fucking around. He really was good at it. I mean, he really made me laugh. Oh, yay. He just enjoyed crushing you. Yeah. I've said this before, but my first night there, my first real paid spot, he was hosting and he brought me up and he goes, ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a treat. And I was in the wings like, oh shit, here we go. And he goes, Jerry Seinfeld. The crowd goes apeshit. He goes, I'm kidding. It's some guy. Good times. I went up one time down there and it was just this night. Everybody showed up. It was like Jerry Seinfeld, Ray Romano, Chris Rock, and then Dave Chappelle. And I just kept getting bumped. And then it was like me and the crowd was so spoiled. By the time they were doing the intro, people were just looking past me going like, who is it? Is Eddie Murphy coming out? All right. Please welcome Bill Burr. I do feel like if you go after them and you try really hard, I think they like it. So it depends. No, you just address it. You just address the disappointment. I just went on stage. I'm like, that's right, motherfuckers, what you paid for. Welcome back to reality. Yeah, I remember, I think it was Rock, Chappelle, and then me and I, and once they're done going, like, that's their bathroom break. They just saw a show, then once they sit back down, it's house money. Like, this is their vacation. Yeah, they're okay with it. Yeah, that's true. I took a girl on a date once to the Cellar, and it was one of those nights where all these people, Jon Stewart pops in, Trevor. No, all these people did, and she just, It was her first time there, and she thought that's how it was. And then I brought her again, and she was like, "Oh, this was brutal." Just like you and some other guy was. Yeah, that's not. If the first time you go down there, like that happens, like, yeah, I just want people in the crowd. By the time they brought the third one up, I remember Godfrey was hosting, and he was just like, "All right, we got a special guest. You might recognize this guy from Everybody Loves Raymond. Please welcome Ray Romano." And the next one's like, "Okay, this next guy you might recognize from the Seinfeld show. Please welcome Jerry Seinfeld. This next guy you might recognize from the Chris Rock show. Please welcome Chris Rock. This next guy you might recognize from the Chappelle show. Please welcome Dave Chappelle." And then it was just like, this next guy's name is Bill Burr. He's been on VH1, and it's a good time to take a... Speaking of going psycho, I saw your Netflix special, and it's hilarious. Very, very funny. What? Thank you, thank you. And it's nice of the audience to react like that, but it hasn't actually aired yet, so you're lying. You shot in Nashville. You're not from Nashville, obviously. Why did you shoot it in Nashville? Because you know something. The special I did before, I wanted to shoot in San Francisco, and all the BS didn't work out. So the last second, we had to get a theater, and I did it down in Atlanta, and, you know, northern guy, Boston guy, going in front of this southern crowd and everything.
Like, this whole new vibe came in that I really enjoyed, where it was like, rather than, you do a special, it's like, oh, do it in your hometown. Like, everybody thinks the same way. And you kind of lose that great element of stand-up of like people not understanding necessarily your point of view.
And then you get heckled, and then you get like that whole... It feels like a live show. And how I chose Nashville was I did Vince Vaughn's Wild West, the comedy festival that they have. And they were like, "Oh, it's where they did the original Grand Ole Opry. You got to see this place." I just walked in. It just had that magic. And I was just like, "Oh, it's so funny. It's so incredible. It's very funny." And your podcast, which I love, you do it twice a week. And it's different from most podcasts in that there are no guests. You just rant and rave for a full hour.
Yeah.
Are you doing that in the house? Yeah. You should try to make sure the baby doesn't hear you doing that. Oh, yeah. Because I think it could trouble the child. Well, the reason why I don't have a guest is because, like, then it becomes a job, and then people, I can't find your house, and can we do it at Thursday and all that? Hell, I didn't get in this business to have a job. I got this. I didn't want to have a job, so I just go off on stuff. It started off me just doing like 5 minutes, and then people started writing in questions as Cat Bill. Excellent. I am a big fan of it. I listen to it all the time. Bill Burr. Everybody watch his special on Netflix January 31st. Walk your way out. Thanks for watching. If you like that, subscribe to our YouTube channel for all the latest videos. And if you didn't subscribe anyway, it's free. Who cares? You really are the whitest person I've ever seen in my life. Yes, serve me well. I've never worked for anything. Yeah, I was born on a yacht. It's just all been downhill. I don't even mean it, and I don't mean it in a genetic way. I mean, like I do you. I'm talking full-on white privilege. I was stunned when I first heard about white privilege. I had no idea what it was. I was like, everybody doesn't get to do this. It seems as if the song never changes. Job interviews. Right as I get out of the car, you're hired. Go home. We'll see you tomorrow. You want an office? You are on a stand-up comedy tour of the world. Is it the world? I think we could say the world. The white world.
No.
White world. I went to Europe. They just pulled back like I was actually doing that. Was it a racist tour? Well, let's go through the countries. Maybe it was a white one. Yeah, it was pretty... Thought the leg was pretty white. I went on... What the hell was I did England, Iceland, getting whiter there. Iceland at a corporate at Santa Claus's house. Whitest dude ever. Then I kind of did... I don't know. I went to Germany and then, I don't know, Austria. Where were you received most warmly as far as like them getting me the best? I guess I would call it the Midwest of Europe. Oh, was the Budapest, Vienna, and Warsaw? Wow. Yeah. They were like the same kind of idiot that I was. And we just like locked in, and I had these great, like I was in Budapest. I was on stage like, geez, I'd shoot a special here. Yeah. People look great. Yeah. They were just going along with the left. And it must be really strange to be popular and well received in a place where English is not their first language. Yeah, no, it is. But you gotta understand that everybody has like Netflix. So all you're getting is just people that are into you. It's not like I walk around hungry going, "Hey, how's it going?" People look at it, the hell is this guy talking about? Like, they don't know me. The people that know me, and then they show up, and that's all I need. So like every person we would see, like for instance, here at the Royal Albert Concert Hall in London, where you shot your special. And when I watched it last night, it was great, by the way. Thank you. So, but when you walk out and all these English people, there's a lot of people there thrilled to see you. that has to, I would imagine that means something more than, you know, going back to Boston. Yeah. No, it's very, very humbling to sit there and be like that. All these people from this far away want to come out and see you. And then that's when you can get in your head and start going, like, do I deserve this? What am I doing here? And Royal Albert Hall is beautiful. And it's like, I got a bunch of jokes. Why am I here? Yeah, there's like symphonies performed there, you know, and then I'm coming out, hey, you ever been going to the bathroom? And blah, blah. Just like, so there's a lot of that. Yeah. When you travel around the funniest parts, when you get really far east into Europe, as they get like really like logical. And I bombing. I can't remember if I was in Finland or Estonia. I was just bombing and I was just going, my God, what's going on? And like, I noticed their heckles, they were like trying to like solve the problem of the joke. Like you tell a joke and I wouldn't get a laugh. And somebody, well, why didn't you just say you were sorry? So I was just like, oh, is that what you guys are trying to do? So it's like, I had to kind of figure that out. And no, if you get into like countries where they don't believe in afterlife, you get a lot of that, very logical. You know, there's no like, hey man, there's none of that vibe. It's just like this plus this equals that. It's like, all right, wow, that's kind of funny. Yeah. You know what I wanted to ask you about? Because I know you're a big Patriots fan. Yes, Antonio Brown. Yes. Are you excited about him being on the team? Yeah. We'll see what happens. You never know. What I like is it's a 1 year contract. That's perfect. It's like a weekend in Vegas, right? No matter how crazy she is, it's got to end. You're going to be on that Southwest flight. But I think he's going to be good. I don't know. I think there was a little bit of, you know, a little bit of him, a little bit of them maybe seemed like they were finding him, I think. Wasn't there like something in his contract where if they find him enough time, then they didn't have to pay him a signing bonus? I don't know, but it seems like if you miss a practice, then you get fined because practice is part of the thing. Yeah. Do you think like if he'd go, he's also a Raider? I thought like that's what you're supposed to do. Show up dressed like a pirate, threaten somebody's coming with booze on your breath, and then as long as you scored a touchdown, you were fine. That's the way the Raiders were when I grew up, so I was a little surprised. Were you thrilled when you read that he signed with the Patriots so very quickly, and Tom Brady even invited him to come live in his house? Yeah, I know, it's nuts. It's a whole thing. Bill,
Every time I think it's over, another good thing happens.
did you take your family on the road with you to Europe for this tour?
I
I took him to Iceland. Oh, you did? Yeah, so whenever I go over to Europe, we just pick a country that we've never been to and we hang there for like 7 days, get acclimated to the time or whatever. And yes, we went to Iceland, just you, your wife, and your daughter.
Yep.
And my parents came over. Oh, your parents came too? Yeah. Oh man, I forgot the story. I was smoking a cigar. They have like a center in Reykjavik, and it's just sort of this grassy hill with you know some statue of some dead guy, the usual thing, right? So I was sitting there and I was smoking a cigar. This woman approached me. She was just like, "Excuse me, can you do me a favor?" And I was just like immediately weirded out. I was like, "Yeah, what?" She goes, "Can you push me down the hill?" I'm like, "What?" She goes, "Can you push me down the hill?" I go, "Is this like some hidden video? Like, you're not getting me, all right? I'm a guest in your country." And she just wanted me to roll it down the hill. So I went like, all right, this is supposed to me too. You don't know what you're supposed to do. If I say no, then now do I? The hill shamer? Yeah. You know? So it's like, all right. So I'm like, where can I touch her? She's like way too old to do like 30. Okay. So I eyes her and she went down the hill and I thought it was over. I was like, all right. She rolled down towards the street. It's over. And then she got up and she's like yelling up, like, it's all wet. I'm dirty. And she starts coming back up, sitting down to talk to me. And I just got all like just weirded out by it. And, well, you should have. Yeah, yeah. Not to say she was from Poland. That's not how Icelandic people are. She went for the old Polish roll. Old Polish roll. Yeah, you got to watch out. Well, the special is very, very funny. Watch it. It's on Netflix. It's on Netflix now. Bill Burr, everybody. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Jimmy Kimmel. Click below to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Or if you want to be that way about it, don't. Yeah, you stupid jerk. No, you can't get racial back because second you get racial back when you're white, then all of a sudden they like wheel out that podium and have like that press conference. You got to be like guy standing up there going, I disgrace the company. I disgrace myself. I just like to state that there was no air conditioning on the subway. I wasn't thinking clearly. I have nothing against Mexicans. I went to Tijuana. I had a great time. Please, please don't do this. No, that's why a lot of white dudes, we can get up to it in certain social situations. We got to watch out for the podium. No, that podium can come out of nowhere when you're not even trying to say something like, yeah, I'm thinking of getting a shirt. What shirt? Thinking of the black shirt. What the hell did you say? I said black shirt. I should have said African-American shirt. I apologize. Please, I need this. I have a mortgage. Please don't do this. So anywho, I got a computer recently. It's like one of the biggest things of my life. Yeah, I'm really trying to get like more like, into this whole technology thing. I'm awful with computers. I'm one of those guys. Basically, every button I hit on my computer has to like shut down, like regroup somehow, like deal with my idiocy. You know what I mean? Then there's always like some 8-year-old I see later on a laptop. Like he's like breaking into the Pentagon, downloading movies that haven't even been made yet. I just got a plane ticket for $6. You just want to slam his head in the face. I'll tell you, the only thing I like about my computer is I really enjoy spell check. I love it. You know what I love about spell check? You don't have to be close to getting the word right. Have you ever noticed that all you got to do is just get it like somewhere like within the ballpark of the word? It's almost like your computer can just start guessing like, I don't know, dinosaur. And when you're sitting there like an idiot, like, nah, I wasn't trying to spell dinosaur. So then what does your computer do? It starts throwing out like every D word it can possibly think of. Like, okay, how about dictionary, diary? Any of this stuff looking familiar? Are we moving towards the goal or away from it? Do you ever spell a word so bad, though? Your spell check has absolutely no clue what the hell you're trying to spell. What do you end up getting? You end up getting, like, a question mark. You got $1 million worth of technology just looking back at you, like, just like you got me, buddy. Which is pretty amazing because I have all the words. Yeah. And that doesn't look like any of them. I can't even make a guess. That's so screwed up. Would you, like, pass out and whack your head off the keyboard? Please tell me you're not that stupid. All right, that's it for me. You guys were a lot of fun. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you for coming out, Sam. Suba, you had to go, you had this, how it was, you had to go out and you had to get a blow-up doll and you had to fucking go out and get it. You had to fucking go out and get it, right? You couldn't just order it off of an Amazon and some delivery guy shows up. He doesn't know what's in the box. They're standing there like Tom Hanks. Hey, how you doing? It's great to see you. Fuck that. You have no idea what it is now, dude. You have to go down and you have to fucking get this thing. Yes, you're in a porno store. You have to work it out. That was far enough away from your house that no one is going to recognize your car. So you drive down like 11 in the morning. Who the fuck is going to be there then, right? You park in the back on like a Tuesday, just sitting there in the car, psyching yourself up like, okay, I'm not hurting anybody. It's just an urge. Just get in there, okay? Hand in the money. Just get in there and get it done. You yank your hat down, you walk in with all your courage, and then you get in there and be too many other perverts in there and you get all psyched out. So what you do is you just grab a bunch of videotapes and you walked up to the counter and you had to make it look like it was an impulse buy, right? And you're walking up and everything. All the creepy shit was behind the counter, right? Just fucking heads and feet. Just an ass body part, go. Serial killer buffet. What fucking world am I entering? Oh my God. Somebody's fucking a neck. Jesus Christ. Right? Set it down. Just make it look real subtle. Okay, buddy? Is that going to be all? Yeah, no. Maybe that deck down the end with a surprised look on its face. Maybe I'd like to take a shot at that. I don't know. The guy wraps it up and then you finally get it. You give him the money. You fucking run out to the car. You have this whole weird emotion. You're like excited and you hated yourself. Thank God I finally did it. What the fuck is wrong with me? Just drive off. You go back to your little shitty fucking apartment and you had to blow it up quietly so none of your neighbors heard. Just like, then you got excited, start going a little faster and just watching this thing slowly come into life. Just like, right? And then you wrap those rubber legs around you and God forbid you got caught. Or roommate comes walking in, he's fucking a blow up doll. Dude, your life was over. You went like 6 minutes to get your mom on the phone. Like, Mom, I love you. And you're never going to see me again. Don't tell what people said about me. I'm so sorry. I'm going to Alaska. Oh, God clicked. That was it. You moved to Alaska. That was...
No one ever saw you again.
And that's why this day, if you go to Alaska, there's like 8 men for every 2 women. Yeah, because that state is littered with men who got caught fucking shit. They shouldn't have been fucking Nummel. And I finally worked my way up to the front of the plane, group one, which means you get to board like it's your plane, right? You get to board, yeah. You sit in a chair that's the size for a human being. There's a place for your bag. Yep, right? You get a little hot towel and all that. Then the second I get that, all of a sudden now there's like these 20 groups that are like pre-boarding now. Like half the plane qualifies and they're getting on. And I just sit there just like losing my shit, you know? It starts off like it's just like anybody in uniform, anybody in military. So it's like, all right. But after like the 20th guy, you just start being like, have you seen action? Are you on the front line to please? Right? Then it's anybody with kids, anybody with disabilities. And they just say, anybody with a red shirt, hey, it's Tony Tuesday. Anybody named Anthony could get on. Dude, I sat one time, I saw this guy get on the plane, okay? He wasn't in uniform. He didn't have kids. He had all his limbs. He wasn't limping. He didn't have a cough. He just walked on the plane. It's like, who this is that guy? How did I get on before that guy? So no, I always hated the anxiety of being in the back of the lane. I just remember like the worst is whenever you would get your seat and you'd sit there and about ready to close the door and you have that empty seat next to you, like the poor man's first class. You're like, oh shit, I'll bring the armrest up. I can actually be great. Then all of a sudden some fat bastard gets on the platform and you're like, no. You literally like Quint at the end of Jaws, like sliding down the floor, right? So one time I swear to God, this is all true. This dude got on. He was so fat. He was sitting next to me. I was literally next to him and behind him. He like tried to make himself smaller and he like folded his arm and his lat came out like a, it's this old Western saloon thing. I'm just sitting behind this thing. So yeah, that motivates you to try to get to a solution. So all these years, 20 years, you work your way up to the front and now still they won't let you. Yeah, now that fat guy's considered disabled because he can't stop steak cookies. So he gets on. Look how many groaning. 90% of the world is starving to death. That guy eat a salad and get on the treadmill like the rest of us. We're all working out. What is the problem? Well, okay, what could you do? Could you do anything? Then could you get on the plane? Is there anything you could do, Conan? I imagine there's something that I could be doing. There's always something that I could be doing. That's what I've learned being married. You know? Well, you should have done it this way. I'm sorry. Like that, literally. So I'm your wife right now. Yeah, that was just playing in the loop. What am I doing now? This is the thing. You know what? It kills me. It's just like, if I could just fix my temper, my wife should have nothing on me. Yeah, she'd have nothing on me. I work my ass off. I make a great living. I like doing the dishes. I'm a great dad. All she has on me is just, it's just, I don't know, like my overall vibe. That's it. Wait a minute. All she has on you is my fault. It's your overall personality and vibe. You know what kills me? I was this guy when the essence of who you are is the only thing. I was this guy when she met me. Yeah. She's acting like I changed. I was always flipping out. Were you flipping out the day? Like when you met, did you flip out? Did you really? That's right. Yeah. I remember she told me to go see that movie, Monster. Remember that movie with Charlize Theron? Yeah. And everybody was saying how, oh my God, it was unbelievable. Like they literally blamed guys that she was a serial killer. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like when you saw the Jeffrey Dahmer movie, it wasn't like, somebody shoved a tuna fish sandwich up my ass. And I confused people with food. So they didn't make like a big excuse for them. She was a psycho killing people and she should have died. But I'm like watching it feeling guilt. Do they ever take responsibility for their actions? Even when they're murdering people? It's somehow our fault. It's unreal. That was the problem. Having a juniper sandwich. Why would having a juniper sandwich shoved up your butt make you want to eat people? Because another man did it, right? It was another person. So you equated, I don't know, sex with food. I forget how the idea went. But all I know is she laughed when I said it. She was dying laughing and kind of saw my point. And I always hate when she says to me, she'd just be like, I just don't see, where is that coming from? It's just like, honey, how many childhood stories do I have to tell you before you follow the breadcrumbs to the psycho that you married? I mean, did you ever take a psychology class? Like you didn't see this coming, right? That's what it is. It's not that she says that I'm a jerk. It's just the nerve to be surprised. All right. I wish we had more time. Good God. All right. I feel like do I help you at all by getting cathartic? It's cathartic, right? Cathartic. Because I'm going to go home. She's not going to watch this. She's older. I love it when a guest says no one. She's not going to watch it. No, she's not going to watch it. Yeah. You can see Bill on his latest nationwide tour, 50, and he's starting to mellow. I swear to God, I am. After getting the twinkle in my eye back at the TD Garden in Boston on October 5th in Madison Square Garden.
Wow.
On Wednesday, November 7th. That's fantastic. Unbelievable. Thank you. For more cities and dates, thank you. Go to Bill Burr, Bill Burr. Be right back. Regina Hoffman. She was mourning and screaming. I was mourning and screaming. As she was mourning and screaming, I was mourning and screaming. I looked into her eyes. She looked into my eyes. And she went, do they have Christmas trees in Africa? I have no idea what pisses me off more. The fuck they said us is while we're having sex, or the fact that I took time out to answer the question. Yes, we do. You guys have been wonderful. Good night. So, what's up? What's up? Bonjour, Montreal. I've been here for 3 weeks. I've never been here that long. I've been reading the news. There's no mass shootings. No cops killing black people. There's no Caitlyn Jenner stuff that you're having an election to... I don't know the religion of the candidates. What the hell do you do for fun up here? I have no idea what's going on. Gay marriage.
Right.
We have that now. Yeah. Our Supreme Court finally approved gay marriage. And in the decision, the funniest thing they wrote, they said that gays are now entitled to the same rights as all other humans. And I said, that's so nice of you to make them human now. Because we do. We have a national homophobia. It's ridiculous. Like the minute the Supreme Court approved gay marriage, the states that don't want it, they have these things now. They call it religious freedom laws, and it's a twist on religion. And what it does, it allows people to use their religion to discriminate against gays or anyone they don't like, in the name of Jesus, because there's no doubt Jesus was big on discrimination. I think it was Jesus that said, love one another as you love thyself. Unless he's different than you, then go ahead and shoot his ass, because that was open. Carry Jesus, who's very popular down in Texas. I don't know. So they have these laws. So there was a pizzeria in Indianapolis that said they refused to serve pizza to gay weddings. Now, keep in mind, no gay wedding had ever ordered pizza, but they said we will not serve pizza to gay weddings that didn't order pizza in the first place. And just to make sure we never lose any money not serving pizza to gay people who didn't want pizza, we had started a Kickstarter GoFundMe page. And they raised over $800,000 to make sure they never lose money not serving pizza to gay people who didn't want pizza to begin with. And I read that article, and I made a decision, and I'm telling you right now, Alonzo Bowden refused to do comedy at gay weddings that have never asked me to do comedy in the first place. And just to make sure I never lose money not doing comedy for gay people that didn't want my ass there to begin with, I have started a GoFundMe page. So please give generously in the name of Jesus. We always talk about the women up here. Beautiful, beautiful women. Yeah. I'll look. But I'm out of the game now because the game has changed. You used to be able to pick up. Now you want to hook up. You want to get laid? There's an app for that, right? That's what you do. They have like Tinder and Instagram and stuff, and that's a young man's game. My nephew was showing me, like, check it out. You just flip through the pictures, then you hit then if she hits, like, you hook up and you smash that. And I was like, you smash that on that's the extent of your effort, you lucky little punk. You don't know. I love it. I can look on Instagram, but I can't be trying to hook up on Instagram. I'm a little too old to be messing around the Instagram. And I'd be the creepy guy on Instagram, And you don't want to be that, right? Creepy. That's like the worst thing I got. No, I used to think creepy was the worst thing a guy could be until I heard these girls talk about a guy who looked rapey. And I was like, that's a thing. Now there's rapey out there. That is the worst description I have ever heard. Can you imagine being described as rapey? Man, if you looked rapey, you would do anything to get back to creepy, wouldn't you? People always ask comics, they're like, what makes you laugh? I'll tell you what makes me laugh. The most ordinary, everyday things I see that they make me laugh. I was crossing the street, right? I stopped at the crosswalk. I looked next to me. There's a seeing eye dog. And I looked at him, and he had no blind person. It was just a dog. And I started laughing my ass off because all I could think is somewhere there's a blind guy going, where's my dog? Where's my dog? And I couldn't help but think, what did he do that? The dog said, I've had enough of this. You on your own. You're laughing. I love that. I love that joke because see, now that planted a seed, right? And what's going to happen? You're going to see a blind guy with a dog and you're going to think about that joke and you're going to start laughing and everyone's going to think you're the biggest asshole in the world because you're laughing at a blind guy with a dog. And then you're going to be,
No.
The rapey guy said, I'm Alonzo Bowden. Thank you, thank you. She was mourning and screaming. I was mourning and screaming. She was mourning and screaming. I was mourning and screaming. I looked into her eyes. She looked into my eyes and she went, do they have Christmas trees in Africa? I have no idea what pisses me off more. The fuck they said us is while we're having sex, or the fact that I took time out to answer the question. Yes, we do. You guys have been wonderful. Good night. What's up? What's up? Bonjour. Montreal. I had been here for 3 weeks. I've never been here that long. I'd been reading the news. There's no mass shootings, no cops killing black people. There's no Caitlyn Jenner stuff that you have an election. I don't know the religion of the candidates. What the hell do you do for fun up here? I have no idea what's going on. Gay marriage.
Right.
We have that now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our Supreme Court finally approved gay marriage. And in the decision, the funniest thing they wrote, they said that gays are now entitled to the same rights as all other humans. And I said, that's so nice of you to make them human now, because we do. We have a national homophobia. It's ridiculous. Like, the minute the Supreme Court approved gay marriage, the states that don't want it, they have these things now. They call it religious freedom laws. And it's a twist on religion. And what it does, it allows people to use their religion to discriminate against gays or anyone they don't like, in the name of Jesus. Because there's no doubt Jesus was big on discrimination. I think it was Jesus that said, love one another as you love thyself. Unless he's different than you, then go ahead and shoot his ass, because that was open. Teary Jesus is very popular down in Texas. I don't know. So they have these laws. So there was a pizzeria in Indianapolis that said they refused to serve pizza to gay weddings. Now, keep in mind, no gay wedding had ever ordered pizza. But they said, we will not serve pizza to gay weddings that didn't order pizza in the first place. And just to make sure we never lose any money, not serving pizza to gay people who didn't want pizza, we had started a Kickstarter GoFundMe page, and they raised over $800,000 to make sure they never lose money not serving pizza to gay people who didn't want pizza to begin with. And I read that article, and I made a decision, and I'm telling you right now, I, Alonzo Bowden, refuse to do comedy at gay weddings that have never asked me to do comedy in the first place. And just to make sure I never lose money not doing comedy for gay people that didn't want my ass there to begin with, I have started a GoFundMe page. So please give generously in the name of Jesus. We always talk about the women up here. Beautiful, beautiful women. Yeah. I look, but I'm out of the game now because the game has changed. Used to be able to pick up. Now you want to hook up. You want to get laid? There's an app for that, all right? That's what you do. They have like Tinder and Instagram and stuff, and that's a young man's game. My nephew was showing me, like, check it out. You just flip through the pictures, then you hit, like, then if she hits, like, you hook up and you smash that. And I was like, you smash that on a, like, that's extends your effort, you lucky little punk. You don't know. I love it. I can look on Instagram, but I can't be trying to hook up on Instagram. A little too old. Be messing around the Instagram. I'd be the creepy guy on Instagram, And you don't want to be that, right? Creepy. That's like the worst thing I got. No, I used to creepy was the worst thing a guy could be until I heard these girls talk about a guy who looked rapey. And I was like, that's a thing. Now there's rapey out there. That is the worst description I've ever heard. Can you imagine being described as rapey? Man, if you looked rapey, you would do anything to get back to creepy, wouldn't you? People always ask comics, they're like, what makes you laugh? I'll tell you what makes me laugh. The most ordinary, everyday things I see that they make me laugh. I was crossing the street, right? I stopped at the crosswalk. I looked next to me. There's a seeing eye dog. And I looked at him, and he had no blind person. It was just a dog. And I started laughing my ass off because all I could think is somewhere there's a blind guy going, where's my dog? Where's my dog? And I couldn't help but think, what did you do that? The dog said, I've had enough of this. You on your own. You're laughing. I love that. I love that. Because see, now that planted a seed, right? And what's going to happen? You're going to see a blind guy with a dog, and you're going to think about that joke, and you're going to start laughing, and everyone's going to think you're the biggest asshole in the world because you're laughing at a blind guy with a dog. And then you're going to be, no. The rapey guy said, I'm Alonzo Bowden. Thank you. So 10, 11 till I was 13, 14, 15, 16 till I was 17, 18. Hey, welcome everybody. Yeah. We got the alts on air here. My name is Bert Chrysler. I'll be your host all day. First candle coming in. Oh, he sees a big heifer at 11:15. Do I got a 115 from Camouflage Hip Hop over there? Southernly gentlemen. Southernly gentlemen. Nothing, no kettle for you, huh? So understand the process and what's about to go on. I got my game plan. First cows that come out are John's. I like it. Follow my lead. All right, here we go. Showtime. Are you ready? What happens if you accidentally buy one? Not gonna buy one. Don't worry. There we. Okay, this is getting really quick. Here we go. Like $1,000. Maybe no one else bid. I thought there was gonna be more action. Okay. Crying. How fast did anybody else bid? I thought I was gonna press. Poor Joe. Can someone please find out how much I spent on this cat? How do we know how much we paid for this? I've got 2 kids and 2 dogs and a rescue cat. My wife's gonna kill me. Looks like the total is 14 O's and I had 1,400 bucks, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, and 31,000, 11, 9, 31. I can make change. I think the haggling part's over, Bert.
Yeah.
Should have haggled more in there, huh? You should. I guess you should. Money just went so quickly. If you'll just put your address on there. Oh, it's BERT, please. Oh, BERT. Give my home address, Valley Village. I don't know how I'm going to get this thing to California. You got any friends who are ranchers out there? Is it just me or that really happened fast, right? Your hand went up and he just said, sold, God. Are there different fan motions that you're supposed to use? You're pretty assertive. You went pretty high with it. You think people thought they were being nice and just let us out because we were in on the action? What are you going to name it? I'm going to name it Soul the Scene. I'm going to name it. Really would get a hold of my wife. Well, we got good news and we got bad news. All right. All your cattle sold. That's good news.
What's the bad news? I bought one.
Oh, did you? What'd you do? Go with you and put your hand up? Got it. Did you really get it? I swear to God, I bought that job this way. A little more. That's good. A little more. You got to clear. All right. This is your home. You're out here with the horses you're going to love. Keep acting like that. I'm not going to open the gate. Open them both. All right, buddy. Hide behind one. Get out of the way. This is your new home. Get out of the way. All right. Just take off. This is all yours. You're John's now. I'm going to come back and visit you. No castration. You think I ought to tell him that he's already been branded and already been castrated? Unfit mother. Let me tell you something. You better be this dead because how do you come out of the woods? I'm going to kill your ass. Now, I'm going to count to 3. If you ain't out of them woods at the count of 3, you live here. 1. There he is. Let's go. Because black mama's real. They don't play, but all mamas get tired. Because when white mamas get fed up.
Oh, y'all get fed up. Like I've had it up to here.
I'm sick of your insubordination. You don't stay in timeout. You don't eat your vegetables. You know what? I got an idea. Everybody get in the car. We're trying to go for a ride down by the lake. And the kid's like, yeah. We going for a ride down by the lake. But my mama might not ever take us for a ride down by the lake. But she'll read that in the paper and she'll use it as a scary text. She'll be like, ooh wee. That mama got tired of them damn kids and took they ass for a ride down by the lake. Let me tell y'all something. Keep messing up. And I'm going to take y'all ass for a ride down by the lake. I'd be in the background talking about, first of all, you got to get a car because I don't think the bus driver is going to let you take everybody on the bus for a ride down by the lake. I've been Lavelle Crawford. Thanks a lot. Great audience. Give yourselves a hat. Good. It was good Mexican American. More Cheech and Chong after the break. Everything's been funny. This is a really wonderful lineup of really funny comedians. I was figuring out today, we haven't been into Montreal in about 37 years the last time we were here. So tonight, we'd like to do something very special. Special for you. We only do this once a night. And we'd like to do something. It's a very serious song. It's a song of my people, and I hope you like it. Mexican American don't like to just get into gang fights. They like flowers and music, and white girls named Debbie too. Mexican Americans love education, so they go to night school and they take Spanish and get a B. Mexican Americans don't like to get up early in the morning, but they have to, so they do it real slow. Mexican Americans love the nanas and the nonos and the nanias and the nani nino, but don't call them beaters. They're all over the place. Don't call them beaters. They'll up and kick you in the face. Call them beers even though they drive real low. Don't call them beaters even though they drive low. Goddamn slow. They'll call them beater. They don't like to be called Peter. You can dress them up, but you can't take them out. It's the only thing. Listen, where was I? Oh yes, my people, Mexican Americans are named Chada and Cheda and Cheda and Cheda and Cheda and Lil Cheda and have a son-in-law named Jeff. Mexican Americans don't like to go to the movies where the dude has to wear contact lenses to make his blue eyes brown. Because don't make my brown eyes blue.
Is it time for the races?
Mexican Americans live in Los Angeles, San Diego, San Antonio, San Francisco, and now all over Canada. Void, and she just gets cold up there. Mexican Americans have been here forever, and we're going to be here forever, and we only want what's fair. Mexican Americans, thank you, man. That's it for now. Thanks for joining us on Just for Laughs. Now the credits are going to roll. We don't really expect you to stick around for this, but I have to. Would appreciate it if you did. It's my name. Woohoo. Fourth. No, the fifth cameraman is hot. Okay, then, I'm done. Can I go now? Oh, for crying out loud. What, mommy? It's over. It's over. Kevin, what you've achieved in your career is not even scratching the surface of who you are. You are very not only deserving of this award, but people don't understand what you've done to the business. Do you know how many tickets you've sold since you started doing concerts? I called and checked. I know too, 500 million. 500 million people watch this man. Stand in front of him and make him laugh. Kevin is one of the greatest comedians I've ever seen. And Kevin is one of the greatest men that I've ever known. Hello, Jerry. We bring joy to our environment. People don't know all the things that comedians go through and how difficult, how heavy it is to wear the crown. But man, I swear to God, you do it with so much grace, so much kindness, man. I know every story of all the comedians that you help out. I know how you go out to Philadelphia and support your neighborhood. And I know that inside you feel awful sometimes, but I've never seen it on your face and I've never felt it in your presence. And I am honored to know somebody like you. I really wish you would have come when I won this award for office.
No.
This is not legislation, right? These are jokes by someone who doesn't read. Okay, just everybody relax, yeah? People put so much on. I know. Now I'm excited to be here. I am. It's very exciting to be doing stand-up outside of my own country. Yeah. No, not because of you. That's how it's become us. Everything's so goddamn every joke you tell. Well, what did you mean about that? I didn't go to the gym today. Are you calling me fat? I feel triggered. Gotta fucking apologize to everybody. This is how screwed up my country is right now. You know Bryan Cranston, right? That dude did a movie. He played a quadriplegic. And people gave him, be like, why is there an able-bodied person playing a quadriplegic? It's like, it's because it's called acting. You dumb. See, if he was a quadriplegic playing a quadriplegic, that's not acting. That's just laying there saying that someone else wrote, you're still doing a lot of acting too, right? She shot a big movie.
Yeah.
I shot a Pete Davidson's big movie, yeah. How did that go? Well, I didn't get fired. Yeah. Who knows? Get cut out. You never know. It went great. And it was the first time I got to work with Judd Apatow where I've worked with him in a more like distant way. Like I did Pete's show Crashing because I think that comes out June of next year. But I got to do an episode of The Mandalorian, Jon Favreau, the new Star Wars thing. I got to see you in that, yeah. Oh my gosh. What? This is sports fan meathead who doesn't watch any sci-fi. You're going to be in Star Wars. Just say, I was like, are you a Star Wars? No. You know what this is like? This is like when Joe DeRosa met Joe Torre. He goes, yeah, I met this guy the other night. He was somehow connected with the Yankees because he was still managing. It was Joe Tutelage. I'm like, Torre, he goes, yeah, is he like a big, he's that face guy. I was like, dude, I'm going to strangle you. I know, right? I'm going to strangle you. Why? He's like, I want to go buy vintage t-shirts. Yeah. So he already went off on me for being in Star Wars. And I told him, I go, this is your payback for meeting Joe Torre. Fair enough. Fair enough. What did you do what did you wear in what Star Wars? I don't know that they are like, that's very secretive. This is like, how much money is in the Federal Reserve? I don't think I'm allowed to say anything. Yeah. All that Netflix, say anything. Yeah. All that Netflix. If you look at the trailer, you see the back of my bald head for half a second. Oh my God. Oh, so you're not in a helmet. I love it. My head is a helmet. It would have been redundant. That's like a joke. A hat on a hat. Oh my God, that's exciting. You're a busy guy. Bill, yes, I am. What about SS for Family? We're finishing up season 4, Holy, editing that, and that should be out sometime next year. But for you, stand-up will always be number one. Yeah. Well, you're very generous with comics. I was talking to Tom about how when I was early on the Comedy Store, you were so good to me. and we'll watch sets. Oh my God. When you did that punchlines and stuff, and it was so cool when you did that bit. She's my best friend. I was just like, I don't think you understand how funny you are. And she just kept booking TV shows and was annoying. It's just like, stop fucking. They're giving you chicken feed. You're a star. Get out there on the title. You wait till her hour comes out. Yeah. Forgetting all about mine. I'm telling you, nobody has a vibe. Like, you're hilarious. And you got this chill, cool vibe that I loved. And then you also know how to unleash. Like some comics, when they get loud, then they just stay there too long. Yeah. And then it gets annoying. But like, you know how to if you know how to use it, you can just, blow them back in the seat and then bring them back down again. It's awesome. I love it. I love it. You've always been so good to me, and it really has always much appreciated. There we go. We sound like one of us is on our deathbed. I know. Yeah. I was going to say, so nice to me. What is this announcement you're going to make? Keep my name alive. Fortunately, I brought him up at the store a couple weeks ago, and I was like, this is one of the nicest because you're so nice to me. And I mean, you're nice to everybody, but I love you so much. I'm like, he's one of the nicest guys there is. And you come out, you're like, do you really have to say that? I'm about to go rant about a bunch of shit. I'm the nicest guy. The nicest guys ever talk about people in wheelchairs, but it means a lot. It does. When you're a newer comic, you're coming up, it's intimidating. Well, that's because people did that for me, and I didn't forget it. And I remember what it meant to me. I had Dave Chappelle said something to me in the early 2000s. I held on to that. Yeah. In comedy condos and hell rooms for like the next 5 years. Dave said I was funny, right? Dave thinks I'm funny. Dave thinks I'm funny. Had that for me, honestly. I'm not saying that because you're on your deathbed. But you're on your deathbed. But you are. Comedy deathbed. When I'm on the road and I'm in a green room that's, basically a broom closet, I'm like, Bill said I was funny, and it does carry you through those weekends sometimes, yeah. Well, you're so lost in the beginning, you really don't know whether you have no confirmation of, and there's no like roadmap. So you're like, is this going to lead to anything? Am I doing this even remotely right? And you don't have blinders on. Like, I'm just going to do what I find my own journey. What? No, you just totally almost see like yeah. What is that guy doing? I need to be doing what he's doing. He's like mapping out his shirt and everything. Yeah. What agent he's with, and you're just ping-ponging. Yeah. Yeah, Joe. Yeah. Joe Coy came in here and was like, my street team. Tom and I were like, we need a street team. Why don't we have a street team? You're like, what are we doing? And what keeps you going was what I started to learn was just like, well, I started before cell phones. You'd get in, you just drive back into Nick's Comedy Stop in Boston, and then you would find the nearest comic and tell them the story. Yeah. And then they would be logged. And then, of course, try to top your story about like, that's nothing. And then one time I had this happen. It just made you feel like, all right, well, I got a story to tell. And then it also made me feel like a comedian. I heard the older guys, telling the stories, and I was just like, I don't have any stories. I went to an open ec and it didn't go well because it was my fault. There was no any, other elements involved. So then once I started doing, rooms outside, and there's nothing better than hearing about your suffered. Bill Burr's special paper Tiger is streaming on Netflix now. Go and watch it. He also has some big tour dates coming up. Go to billburr.com. Look at all his dates. He's going all over Cosmopolitan in Vegas. And of course, listen to his Monday morning podcast, one of the best podcasts out there. Bill Burr, ladies and gentlemen. Women go to restaurants and lose their goddamn mind. They got to order from that expensive side of the menu. The side with the steak and the lobster. And the Dom Perignon guys like to give them that little warning too, huh? Ooh. Honey, you understand that's the fucking side of the menu. You understand that? It's steak, lobster, and dick. It is a combination. If a nigga really wanted to rape me, what can I really do? Be honest. Like, if you get past my scuffle, that's it. I got to take one for the team. That's all I got. If you get past my scuffle, hey, get the fuck off, nigga. Nigga, ladies, you got to start taking some responsibility for your own miserable life. If you're over 25 years old, you still walking around here talking about niggas ain't shit, bitch, you need to grow the fuck up with your irresponsible ass. What you meant to say was all the niggas you fuck with ain't shit. That's right. You have to figure out what it is about your pussy that keep attracting ain't shit niggas. Might be ain't shit pussy. Imagine if Michael Jackson was from the project. What if Michael Jackson was a pimp? Should be him and Tito be riding around in the Cadillac and shit. Slow down, Tito. Slow down, Tito. Damn. Is that my hobo? that's sitting on the couch, her, let me out. Come here, girl. I said, come here, girl, with my money. How much you got? Like I'm sorry. All I got is $100 bill. Girl, you've been out here all day and all you got is the $100 bill. Keep it in the closet. I think Michael's on crack. I bet you Michael's at home. Mike is like, only white folks were shocked when they saw that tape. Police whooping black folks in the black community ain't no new shit. When I saw that, I thought it was a fucking new Tim X commercial. I didn't know what the fuck it was, but that's all right. Because the brother getting paid, he getting $1 million for every blow, $50 to $6 million. I'm looking to get fucked up. I'm doing 300 miles an hour in a Volkswagen yelling out the window. Fuck the police. Fuck all your bad trade, motherfuckers. Come over here, whip my ass. Give me my case. The issue was not whether Lorena Bobbitt did what her husband claimed she did. The facts about the act were evident. She cut his dick off, drove down the highway, and threw it out the window. Carl Overham, want you to proceed down on the freeway. See if you can't locate a dick. She obviously got 20/20 vision. She found a little thing that was very difficult to find. So, Los Angeles Police Department is actively searching for Mr. Simpson. You know who the real victim is? Ike Turner. Because Ike was the king of the Wolverbeater. So OJ took his title. Don't nobody give a fuck about OJ and all that old punk ass shit. Niggas just want to know when is the next riot. Fuck that. We, the jury, find the defendant. Warrenthal James Simpson, not guilty of the crime of murder. I want Johnny Cochran in my corner. He was like a magician. If it don't fit, you must acquit. And so I actually heard white people say that they were so upset and angry with the verdict that they couldn't sleep. Yeah, well, you know, black people have had it, man, for 400 years. Every prison is filled with niggas, just overcrowded with niggas. One motherfucker gets away. Hey, we got to take a look at the justice system. It's not working. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I went to the doctor and I was like, all right, I'm just going to get a checkup, see what's going on. The honest truth is I knew it wasn't going to be awesome. Okay. I knew the doctor wasn't going to be like, you might be surprised to hear this, but you're perfect. Like you're a perfect physical specimen, man. I knew that wasn't going to happen, but I didn't expect him to be a dick. Usually they're not. I feel like in my experience, poggers are polite, almost overly polite, where it's phony and condescending. When they go, oh, really interesting story you got there, doctors do that because you're telling them a story and doctors don't want to hear a story. Doctors want to hear this hurts not. I was over at my friend Charlie's house and we went to move the ottoman. And I mean, you can use it as a coffee table or you could use it as an ottoman. It's up to you. And your doctor's like, I want to blow my fucking brains out right now. I go in there, I sit on the exam table, which is my least favorite table to sit on in the world. This is the only table that in 30 years I've sat on where my feet don't touch the ground. So I feel like a fucking toddler waiting. Like my doctor comes in, he doesn't say hello, he doesn't say good morning. He just walks in, he points at me, which is super aggressive, you know, to start a conversation with somebody like, hey, man. You're like, hey, what's, man? And he goes, do you want something for your hair? And I go, what? And he goes, do you want something for your hair? And I go, I don't get it. And he goes, has nobody told you that your hair's falling out? I was like, damn, no. And he goes, oh, sorry. All right. All right. And then he pulls my chart out of the slot, super dramatic, so that it makes a fucking noise. He goes, wow. And I'm like, really? Wow? Is it full vol AIDS? Like, why is wow? He goes, you weigh 245? And I go like, yeah, like I knew that shit. And he goes, you weighed 230 last time you were here. Not exactly what I would call weight loss. I'm like, oh, you had a fucking roast or something? Like, what are you doing? Then he says, you know, you're the fattest patient I've seen all day. And I go, it's 9:30 in the morning. And it goes, still. He's like, you know, we ran your blood work. It turns out your muscle enzymes are through the roof. And I go, yeah, man. Like, I'm super strong. Like, how is that a problem?
And he goes, they're off the charts. So I'm like, even better.
I'm probably your strongest patient, man. And he goes, I don't think you understand muscle enzymes. And I go, that's true. I don't know what they are. And he goes, well, the only way you could have them this high would be like if you were an Olympic athlete, which clearly, you know, I'm like, dude, what is the deal, man? And he goes, the other way would be if you were a cocaine addict. And I go, I don't do coke. And he goes, I'm your doctor. You don't have to lie to me. I go, I'm not lying. And he goes, I can't treat you if you're not going to be honest. And I go, hey, man, aren't cokeheads skinny? Isn't that like part of the deal? And he goes, usually, yeah. The nurse comes in, she takes my chart out of his hands and she goes, oh my God, his muscle enzymes are so high. Maybe he runs marathons. And my doctor goes, look at him. So at this point I go, this was a lot of fun. Thank you for having me today. I'm going to leave now. And he goes, all right. And he goes, all right. And he goes, hold on a second. Do you have a ring on your finger? And I go, yeah. And he goes, you're married? And I go, yeah. And he goes, to a guy? And I go, no. And he goes, oh, I thought you were gay. And I go, why? And he goes, oh. I'm like, all right, dude. And he goes, hey, I'm just kidding. And I go, that's fine. It's fine. Why? Just get out. And he takes my chart and he shows it to me, and he had written gay question mark on my medical chart. The thing that gets sent to other doctors has his inside. Maybe he sucks cock joke written on it. I went home. I told my wife. She's like, oh my God, what are you going to do? And I was like, what do you mean? She goes, I mean, are you ever going to go back there? I'm like, are you out of your mind? That's the funniest fucking doctor in the world. Of course I'm going back there. I have like Don Rickles as my primary care physician. It's amazing. I'm exteriors to go back to this guy. You know, you're a piece of like, yeah. No. I have an idea of what I want to talk about basically in my phone. And what I'll do is I go on and I talk about the stuff. I try my best to avoid long conversations. This is my kind of stuff. I will avoid going to certain locations. I know a long talker is in that venue. Is Pete there? I can't. I'm sorry. I'm not going to go like, you know, you're talking to a long talker. So when they say, let me talk to you real. No one says, let me talk to you real slow. For some reason, long talkers, they always need to rest something, whether it's their hands and their knees. As soon as I say, long story short, you're in trouble. Me and Eddie Evie talked. I'm like, Eddie, you're a large reason why I'm doing stand-up comedy. It's never a white guy. But be that as it may, what if I said Dice was the reason I started because of Dice? What? I'm talking to him and I'm like, why don't you want to do it? Because we're talking and Eddie's still funny. We want to see it. We want to see you, man. I want to see. And what he said was, it's like cold water, because what I left from is very hard to beat. The expectations are so high, and that's what makes the water cold. When you see a great comedian with a bunch of great stuff, you're going, wow, I can't believe this guy crosses that far in his belly. Because, you know, that's the only way he got there. I've had my lumps in the beginning. I've had lumps, Jerry. Age 22, 24, I got a deal for $25,000. I just made it. I'm rich. This is a real conversation I had with my brother. All right. First things first, I'm going to get you and Mom a house. I'm going to go ahead, get Dad, square Dad away. So there's 3 houses. Yeah. Let's knock that out, cars. Who want what? Dad, you've been talking about a truck. Done. Go head out to La. Probably find me something. But just know we all said instantly, money's all gone. I'm on the phone with my business manager at the time. All right, Kevin. Well, we owe the IRS. You know, we haven't had the tax talk. We got to cut some bills, Dad. We're going to have to sell that house. Can't do that, son. My dad had 9 people living in the house. But as comedians, not a lot of us get a lot of chances. And I was in that grinding mode for 13 years. Oh, really? Oh, I was. I mean, Jerry, I've been doing comedy since I was 18. I'm 35. My last 4 to 5 years have been in upswing. You ever see that musical Little Shop Horse? Yeah.
I think that's what TV is.
One of us is going to get eaten here. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Either you're going to eat me or I'm going to eat you. Yes. And I was at that point with the show, and I thought, I can't believe I beat that box. But if I stay, it's going to go bad. It's going to go bad, and it will eat me. By the way, this is probably in the top 2 best conversations I've ever had in my life. The first one would be my dad explaining to me why he had to do drugs. Really, hearing the comedy, I had to listen. Everybody did it. Yeah. You think I was by myself, your aunt, your uncle? That the best conversation I've ever had. Escape rooms normally happen in like a mall. This was in a dude's house. He had converted every room in his house into an escape room, much like John Wayne Gacy. We pull into the neighborhood. My dad's like, no fucking way. George is like, Pop, I heard it's really scary. He goes, I'm shitting my pants right now, ladies. We see a house painted all black, no landscaping. Leanne's like, I think that's it. My dad's like, keep fucking going. Get out. Go up to the door. Knock on the door. Dude's already in character. Oh, dude, it's La. This guy's good. Silk robe, towel around his head, stroking a kitty cat. And he just goes, have you seen my mother? My dad grabs my hand. He goes, what the fuck did he just say? He's looking for his mother. And he goes, tell him his mother can suck my dick. My dad's like, is this real? Is this real? I go, it's part of the escape room. Dad, just play along. He goes, would you guys like to see a tour of my house and my mom's in it? Yes, we would love to see a tour of your house. What's your mother's name? How old is she? Where did she go to college? Take these down, Ayla. These are notes. So we go on a tour of the house. The women are into it. And my dad is picking this guy apart left and right. He's like, he smells like shit, buddy. I think he fucking lives here. I think he lives. What kind of fucking lunatic lives where every room isn't? He was just eating lunch. Bagay. He's eating mac and cheese with coffee. Who the fuck drinks coffee? Black coffee with mac and cheese. He's got ibs. I guarantee you, he's got ibs. I'm like, I don't think these are helpful clues, Dad. The guy comes in. He goes, would you guys like to see mother's room? Dad goes, absolutely fucking not. My mom's like, yes, we want to see your mother's room. He's like, well, the mother doesn't allow car keys, cell phones, or wallets in a room, so you'll need to empty your pockets and put them on the kitchen table. I'm like sheep. We're like, okay. We empty our pockets, walk into the room, and the second I step into the room, I feel the door shut and lock behind me, and I have a panic attack. The first thing I think is he didn't ask our names. We didn't give him a credit card. We didn't fill out a waiver. We didn't even really check the address. We just saw one sketchy house in a neighborhood, knock on the door. He presented a problem. We're like, the Scooby-Doo gang will figure it out. And now we're locked in his fucking house. Dad's next to me going, tell me where I steer wrong in this story. Did you just walk your family into a serial killer's house? George goes, Papa, isn't this scary? He goes, you have no fucking idea. You two are getting sold to the goddamn Adanians tonight. You'll be working in a Chechen or house the rest of your lives. I was like, Papa, how do you think we get out of here? Because, I think I'm out. I have to suck that guy's dick, Sam. I can't tell you where to go. I can tell you where not to go. Wherever they filmed the first 48 on A&E. If you're not familiar with the show, here's what it is. Camera crews follow real homicide detectives for the first 48 hours after a murder. And the reason that that time distinction is so important is that after 48 hours, they give up on that murder. They're like, that's some old shit. What do you want to do today? You're like, how about you keep trying to solve that murder, man? That shit happened on Monday. It's Verzi. We're not going to solve that shit. Really? There are so many amazing moments on that show. So many. A lot of the episodes take a similar path. I'm blown away, first of all, at how many times there's a witness to a murder. It's crazy. I always thought murders happen in dark alleys. Nobody saw shit. No. Every other episode, like, you see that shit? And I was like, I saw that shit. Yeah. Weird. Right? Fucking here? Really? Oh, I was standing here, and then he killed that dude there. What he looked like, he was like 5'2" to 6'8", something like that. And they're like, that's the fucking description you're going to give us, huh? Anything else about him? Yeah, he had ears too. Thanks, man. No problem. They still will vex that shit out. I don't know. And they show it to people. You know this guy? And everyone's like, nah. But then knowing I will be like, yeah, that's Cricket right there. You're like, oh, shit. You know him? I've been known Cricket 27 years. What's his real name, man? That's just Cricket. And I don't even know. Stop being white and weird. That's a perfect fucking impression. And you know exactly who that was. Okay, yeah, it's a black guy, and he's wearing a wife beater, and he's got on a dirty hat, and he's got a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. And he looks like he's about 33, but you find out he's 76 years old, and he speaks super aggressively to the cops. I've been out here for a minute. They're like, all right, Jesus Christ. When was the last time you saw him through with jellyfish? Last week. They were looking for some smoke, and they're like, all right, Jesus Christ. They always cut to the whitest detective from that guy, too. They cut from that guy to the guy who's like, I don't think he's going to help us out. We're going to have to find Cricket on our own. That show is the best moment in television, is the most dramatic thing you could ever see because it's real life, and that is the interrogation. Interrogation is amazing because here's the thing about drama. You want to have a great dramatic moment, raise the stakes. There's what? There's no higher stakes than somebody being questioned about taking somebody else's life. It's inherently compelling television. It is also super serious, but the detectives insist on using the suspect's street name. So the whole thing turns into a fucking cartoon. Like they're literally like, your life is on the line. We need to talk to you. Why don't you have a seat? Little stank. Why don't you sit down for a second? Did you or did you not know Dookie Shoes? I don't know. No Dookie Shoes. I got a picture of you hanging out with Dookie Shoes. I mean, I seen I don't know. And then they'll throw one bit of evidence against the wall, hoping it'll solve the case. They'll be like, well, we were talking to Nami, and he said that you were at the 7-Eleven last week. And he'd be like, yeah, I shot him in the face. And you're like, God damn. Really? That's all it took to break you, dude. We don't lie for longer. You can kill somebody. You can't lie for 10 fucking minutes about it. Like, dudes will break anything. They'll be like, we heard you had on a blue shirt last Friday. Yeah, I stabbed those 4 people, dude. A lot of people had blue shirts, man. It's like, you can still get out of this. Here's what I've learned watching that show. Okay, lawyer up. You can't handle that shit. Like everybody's like, I'm gonna talk to the cops and straighten this whole thing out. You're gonna do 25 to life. Have fun with that, man. Nobody asked for a lawyer.
I've seen 300 people get interrogated on this show.
2 of them were like, I talked to a lawyer. And both times, the detectives were like, fuck. And then at the end of those episodes that said on the screen, all charges against Tyshawn were dropped. Or Jim, pick a fucking name. Let's be honest. There's no Jims on the show. I've seen every episode and none start with, hey, Bryce, can we talk to you for a second, man? Where were you last Friday? I was over at Tanner's house. Then Skylar had a party. So we went over there. And then we picked up Connor. And we had pancakes. Sorry, bro. Good detective, bro. And I get why you laugh at my physical flaws. Physical flaws are funny. They just are. Disabilities are not. But some are. Most aren't. But we know those ones, you know, like if there's a 10K or a quilt, it's pretty bad. But the rest of the are up for debate. And if you're sitting here and you're like, well, when is it ever funny? Well, luckily for you, I have 3 examples. First, foreign accent syndrome. Some of you know about it. Some of you don't. It's real. You can look it up on your way out of here. Some people experience head trauma. Not funny. But they wake up speaking your native language with a foreign accent. Very funny. I defy you to watch interviews with these people and not piss yourself laughing. Do you understand? Like a farmer in Alabama who's normally like, that guy hits his head and is now like, the tractor trailer ate it, it fell. That's not funny to you. You piece of shit. Really? The best case ever of foreign accent syndrome happened in the UK. Not only was it a British woman who lived her entire life in the UK, she never left the town she was born in for 33 years. She was in an accident, and she woke up speaking English, but with a Chinese foreign accent. Did you hear what I just fucking said? Do you now believe in God and his awesome sense of humor? A British lady who her whole life was like, hello, it's a bit of a whiffle, isn't it? Like that now says, I have not had my conversation over 2 years now. First of all, do you know how hard it is to do that impression without squinting? Secondly, if you're getting uncomfortable, like, whoa, he's mocking an Asian accent. No, she's white. This is fine. A white British lady just happens to say, would you like a cup of tea? Tastes good? You want milk? You want biscuit? Oh, good. You want me to suck the dick now? I don't know. Whatever. She's a nice British lady. She can say whatever she wants. Now, if you're sitting in your seat right now and you're like, I don't think it's funny. Well, don't get your tits in a tussle. I got 2 more for you. So what about persistent genital arousal disorder? That is a fancy way of saying never not coming. These are people that have orgasms every 90 seconds and they can't have jobs. Why can't they have jobs, Tom? Because they're coming all the time. It's not appropriate for you. We're like, can I try on the shirt? And the guy's like, fuck your shirt. I'm going to wear my old shit. I'm not wearing your fucking shirt. Can you imagine? You're like, oh, we're out of orange juice. Or just bring water. That's too much sugar. Because I don't want any more if some people suffer from both of those afflictions. You know that? It's rare, but it happens. Imagine that like you just walk up to someone, you're like, oh, I'm sorry to hear about your dad passing away. And he's like, that feels good. I made that one up. That's not true. But that was cheap. But that was fun. Now, if you're still not on board with this, how about an old, reliable one? You know, how about Tourette syndrome? Yeah, maybe you've heard of that. If you haven't, let me tell you. When I was in 5th grade, my parents sent me to a new school on a Wednesday. I'll never forget. It was a Catholic school, and on Wednesdays, they had mass. So picture you're a new student at a new school. You don't know anybody, and the first thing you're doing is you're going to church. So I walk in, and the priest starts the service. He goes, name of the Father and the Son. And the kid in the row in front of me goes, fuck your cunt. Oh, nobody did anything. No one batted an eye. He just goes, Holy Spirit, starts reading from the Bible. This kid goes, lick my balls. Fuck you. I am laughing so goddamn hard, but I know I'm not supposed to laugh. It sounds like I'm having a stroke. I'm 10. I'm like, I have tears running down my face. And finally, I'm able to get out. Hiccup. Nobody else is laughing. And the kid next to me goes, he's got Tourette's. He gets old. 3 years. I was at that school. That shit never got old. That was the greatest gift God ever bestowed upon me. And I'll tell you this, the greatest day of my life, up until the day my son was born, was the day we had a substitute that year. And they didn't warn her about him. So your imagination is serving you correctly? It was glorious. I watched a 10-year-old boy break a grown woman's spirit. These poor substitutes. They don't know what's going on in your class. You know, she walked in, somehow they didn't tell her, and she's like, read chapter 3, and then his ticks would build, meaning they would start small. So he would sit in class and be like, so she goes, what's going on? And we're like, she doesn't know. And then he would do this every day. He would take markers and paint his own shirt. Again, every day he did it, but she doesn't know about it. So she sees it. She's like, what are you doing? He goes, what do you think, bitch? Then he's painting his face with the marker. And she goes, stop that. And he goes, you bitch, fuck you, you. And she's like, what's happening? What's happening? And we go, that's Kevin. Why are you crying so much right now? Like that when she killed herself, she's dead. She's out of teaching, but she's fine. So